It is the creme de la creme. It's so sort of out there, it's so special, it's so much in a world of its own. You know, for the rest of your life you become either the Oscar-nominated actress or the Oscar-winning actress, and that just becomes a part of your moniker. The choices that you make afterwards I think are quite important. Take care of your work. You know, you have to be careful about what you do after.
And maybe make your room a bit more this way.
I celebrated my win famously by eating an In-N-Out burger. I was plastered all over the English newspapers going into a burger.
There isn't an ashtray around here, is there?
What was going on in your mind when your name was announced?
I blanked a bit. Probably a minute and a half there, I don't quite remember. I remember standing up and feeling like I'd been hit by a train. My clearest memory is Jennifer Aniston handed me a water and said, breathe. And then I noticed I was crying.
Oh my God. I sat through the evening watching every one of my friends lose. When it was announced, I felt nothing but guilt, because all of my friends had lost.
And do you have any memories of what Jack Nicholson said to you after your win?
He said, well, if I win, I guess it'll probably be a commemorative award for something I've done in the past. But, you know, we were actually pretty young, but we all at that point felt pretty old.
The person who was presenting the award in my category was a friend. And she opens up the envelope and she smiles. I stood up. The stupidest thing I've ever done in my life.
Before it was announced?
Before her, it was like she smiled and I just got up. My wife will never forget that. She was the most horrified she was in our life together.
What's the significance of Shrek, both in terms of DreamWorks animation and the larger animation world?
There's no question in my mind when you say the word DreamWorks, the very first thing that comes to mind around the world is Shrek.
Thinking back to the day you found out that Platoon had earned probably the most nominations of any movie that year.
It was so long ago, I forgot. You know, all I remember is the memory of it. Yeah. No, I remember the moment. It was wonderful. It was a genuine thing, a spontaneous eruption. You know, you have to wait so long at that ceremony. So the director comes up near the end, and I think it's painful if you lose. But I remember the camera, because I saw it later, was on a friend of my mother's who had come as her date, and the camera was on him when they were announcing the nomination, so it was the wrong person. He looked a bit like me. So they couldn't get that right, but the biggest face of all was, of course, Elizabeth Taylor giving me the award and planting a beautiful kiss on my cheek. I love that.
I remember, I guess it would have been on a Sunday, like the Super Bowl, and we were pretty excited when Simon won it for sound, I think, for starters. But then we won Best Picture. I felt like I was part of a championship team. I felt like I was part of something bigger than I'd ever experienced, you know. So that was pretty cool.
It meant a great deal, and I was very surprised because my son's babysitter called me up and said, "You've been nominated." That kind of not knowing and that kind of innocence made it all the sweeter.
It's just one of those experiences where even just today, seeing Oliver and Willem just telling stories about stuff, it's like,
How do you feel to see them again today?
really good, just two old friends, you know.
For me, receiving a nomination from my fellow peers really meant a lot to me, and as an actor really kind of helped me sort of step out of the shadow.